And welcome to another week of Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Age Media production.
I love how you do it different every single time.
I am Rick, the Brown Python. I'm here with my heterosexual life partner.
What's up?
Mr. Thomas. And Benji is, of course, out again.
Yeah, it's all good. He's discovering something else about the universe, but hopefully he'll be able to join us again relatively soon. But yeah, it will just be us flying duo, not solo. Just some shit, whatever the fuck it is. That sounds weird. But yeah, so it'll be us for another wonderful rendition of the Skip the Noise podcast. I have Rounded Edge Media production, and we got a bunch of stuff in the cards for y'all today.
You took over the intro. That's good.
I kind of did, but not
That's
really.
Good.
I just like hearing you do it because you say something different each time. It's like, hey, buddy, it's just time.
Hey.
Sound like fucking Bill Cosby. Hey, it's Fat Albert. For ladies and gentlemen, we don't remember that. That was he was raping during that time frame too, but allegedly. But yeah, so we got a good show for you tonight. We're gonna be talking about a bunch of different stuff tonight. We're gonna be talking about the balloon/UFOs. We're gonna be also taking a look at a little bit of a conspiracy. I think we're gonna look at what's going on with these train derailments. We're also going to be talking about apparently a couple of Nazis got loose and made it to Latin America, and one of their granddaughters is currently in Congress. We're going to be talking about some congressmen that have some severe mental issues going on, and maybe not the best thing. And we will also be speaking about a sad situation for a unparalleled action star who has captivated us for generation, the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker himself, Bruce Willis. So I think we're gonna kick this one off with what the fuck is going on in the skies, right?
Yeah. I mean,
they shot down in one weekend, correct?
All right, so of course everybody knows about the. Okay, well, first of all, let's put this in context.
Yeah, go for it.
We haven't had a show in 2 weeks, okay?
Right.
And all this shit just happened, and we're expected to talk about it. And it's a lot. It's a lot. A lot happens in 2 weeks. Apparently,
a lot of shit happens,
dude. Like, this is just like a third of the list. There's maybe 2 more sections that we haven't covered, or we'll probably never cover. But anyway, I digress.
Well, if we ever do. But that this is the truth. So right now, what happened was over the last 3 days, we had several objects blown up over the last weekend. So a week ago, we had 3 objects over 3 days blown up over not necessarily just United States airspace, but also Canada. The crazy thing about this was, of course, the initial conversations that people were saying these were octagonal shapes. They had no visible modes of propulsion. An interesting case was one of the pilots fired a Sidewinder missile at one. The relevance of that is that the Sidewinder missile is probably one of the oldest missiles produced for the U.S. Air Force or for fighter jets. This thing has I think it has an impact rate of like 98%, 99%. So the fact it missed a stationary target, technically, it's very weird. It's a $400,000 missile. These things don't miss, but it somehow missed. It took 2 missiles to take down one of the supposed UFOs or UAPs, or now they're trying to say that they're balloons. But the fucked up part, or rather the part that continues to intrigue everybody, is the fact that they said they can't find any of the wreckage. They're saying they're prepping the American people to basically say, like, oh yeah, well, we probably will never find the wreckage. What?
Yeah, what's about that? It landed on tundra ice.
Well, not only that, but with the one over Lake Huron, right? They said, oh, it's too deep to get it. 726 feet, when we have on multiple occasions extracted things way deeper than that. Even in as early as the 60s, we were doing that. But now they're saying they can't do it now. It's really kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Well, here's one thing that's been going around the the conservasphere,
Right.
is that they said that one of the UAPs was actually a balloon from a high school science project.
Right. Yeah.
And
No.
that it was from the bottle cap Rotary Club or something like that. From some kids released some high-end balloons that were, you can buy this on Amazon for like $125, and they released it up to the atmosphere. They were trying to put a ham radio on top of it to transmit some sort of data or radio frequency.
Right.
And they shot it down.
Yeah.
Because they can't find it anymore.
Right.
So maybe one of the three was that. We still have two to account for.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
But there was a lot of Ted Cruz was making fun of Joe Biden for this.
Well, it actually is kind of funny, but the only thing that I don't find funny, or that I think is an issue, is wouldn't these pilots know that shit though? These guys are trained. I mean, so I think along the terms of training for an average pilot, it's somewhere around $16 million per pilot.
Yeah.
They have thousands of flight hours. These are literally the cutting teeth. I mean, and no disrespect, I think we talk about SEALs, we talk about Rangers, we talk about all these tip of the spear. Fighter pilots are the utmost tip of the spear. They're highly educated, highly trained. They know what they're doing. Do you think they'd really fire a missile at a balloon? Even if, I guess they're going to do what they're ordered to do, but I believe that target identification is a big deal, right? Because ultimately it's not the president who okayed it. It's them who said that there's a viable threat in the sky, right?
All right.
So that makes no sense. But if
the president ordered it shot down, they got to follow those orders.
Right. But if they said, man, it's a fucking balloon, the president would have had that information instantaneously. This isn't like the days of FDR and shit where it takes like a while to relay information from the jet. I mean, this is instantaneous, right? They probably have an open line to the president of the United States who's in a war room conducting this situation, So, I think the pilot would be like, yo, man, it's a fucking balloon. I don't think this is a threat.
And the president's like, oh, they're going to shoot it down the press.
No, I think the pilot, well, there's so many contradictory reports because the pilots were like, yo, I don't see strings. This shit doesn't look like a balloon to me. A couple of them were talking about, I'm having active jamming.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It messed with their systems.
Some people said that their jet systems were messed with by the balloon. This isn't some hobbyist, because right now, of course, I think they even showed them on the news, the hobbyist balloon club we're a science group. I mean,
the kids were like, my balloon.
Yeah, I don't think so. These aren't, don't get me wrong, the size of these balloons aren't viable targets, right? These aren't like really fucking massive balloons. And so to me, it doesn't all make sense to me.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
We have fighter pilots. These guys know what balloons look like.
You mentioned that, these there was a balloon that was avoiding these missiles. It took two fiery, right? It missed the first one, and It took the second one. Now, wouldn't a lightweight balloon just sidestep a missile? A missile's coming right at it. All it has to do is move with the wind that's coming towards it, and it misses it.
Right.
And then you shoot another one, and maybe it'll stay still, and you can shoot it. Maybe that's what happened. It's a very light balloon. It's lighter than air. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
But wouldn't you think that, like, if a missile, like you said, if it's moving past an object, just its wake would pop a balloon, right? I mean, these missiles are fucking firing. Yeah, they're firing subsonic. So imagine this thing has an air brake in front of it. I mean, that's severe turbulence, right? This is going to pop the balloon.
Yeah, but it's going to move aside because the balloon is extremely light. It's made out of I don't know, what's that? Those balloons you buy at the dollar store, except like more of it.
Well, these are target
the full material.
Right? Well, they're target detonations, right? They track the heat source and detonate right as a impact, right before the impact. That's how they make the most. That's how they get the most out of their bang of their buck. I mean,
so the shrapnel would have brought it down.
And also just the impact of turbulence of a massive warhead going off next to you will basically destroy your airplane. I mean, don't get it wrong. It definitely helps if the missile goes right and hits you directly, but it's hard to do that at high speeds. But if you have an explosion area, it widens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what I was more surprised about?
Huh.
With all these balloons is how high these military jets can go. Your commercial aircraft can go up to 35,000 feet. But dude, these balloons were like 60,000 feet.
Well,
80,000 feet.
No. They actually were 20.
The first one.
One was 20, one was 40.
And the first one that was spotted was 60,000 feet.
Oh yeah, no, that
and
one
you had
was
a jet that was way up there with it.
He was going for it.
Dude.
He was going for it. I think they had to use a specific jet to get up there though. So it wasn't like an F-22. It was another one that could go high altitude like that. So it wasn't like your typical fighter jet. It was another one. And I have this on Do Reconnaissance because actually I know somebody that knows people that worked at that base in South Carolina, or was it Florida, that actually were in command of that situation, and they were kind of pissy that they couldn't go up because they were an F-22 pilot. And so they had to use another one. So this particular person would have been the actual kill, like the actual one to take it down. So they was kind of like, well, shit, we can't get up there with mine. So we have to send someone else with another type of setup to get up there and get it. Like, I know,
just
dude.
Get a stick with some piece of tape,
I'm
man.
telling you, but this just, dude, this really feels like our nation's, our generation's Roswell, because this all just doesn't make sense, right? We're firing fucking missiles at balloons. We will supposedly never recover the what's it called?
Yeah, you know what though? You're right. We're firing missiles at balloons, but look at who the fucking president is, man. I mean, a sleepy old man.
No,
he's gonna fire missiles at balloons. It's just like so. If he was an regular old man, he'd be like shooting a gun at a cockroach in his house.
Well,
okay, that's the kind of president we got.
Hey, sometimes do you ever see some of the fucking cockroaches, bro? These things are big. I don't fuck with those things, but well, I get it.
Especially when they fly at you.
He's not making all those calls. Remember, it's the fighter pilots, and these are like I said, these are the tip of the spear. These are the best of the best. These guys don't make stupid decisions in that sense, and so for them to assess the threat, because the president at that point in time, the person who is in charge, is the fighter pilot. I mean, he's a general on the field at that point. So I get it, but he saw a threat, especially the one that said, this motherfucking thing's jamming my signals, which, if for anyone doesn't know, if you're in regards to like the art of war and in regards to like the rules of engagement, if a United States pilot is in an interference course with another plane or object and it begins to jam its signals, i.e. using some other type of radio frequency, whatever, that is immediately a course of call as an actual act of war, and is to be dealt with lethal action. Like, there is no half-assing. Once you jam a signal, you got fire, you got missiles coming up your ass, because that is an actual act of war. One of these things did that. And I don't think a balloon club, floating up some ham radios is enough to jam our jet signals, right? I mean, because our jets have been active in the field for a long time. And trust me, if they sucked that bad, Iraq would have done pretty good instead of the firebombing we dropped on their ass. And so is anybody else we've used our planes on, our drones.
Can you imagine if there was a flaw in these jets that nobody saw, where a ham radio can jam their signal?
All of a sudden, it's Chinese like, what? Fuck! We spent trillions of dollars just to figure this shit out. It's a ham radio.
Call Art Bell. He's selling them right now.
All right, no shit. But yeah, I don't think so. I think this is like our nation. This is our generation's Roswell, and I think as time goes by, we're going to hear more and more about how this wasn't what they said it was. This was definitely something different.
Pilots are going to retire, and they're going to be like, "Yo, what I saw was not a balloon," that kind of thing.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think.
Well. Okay. Well, let's hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. All right, we're gonna have to do this.
Yeah. Just count it off in 3, 2, 1. So yeah, I think either way, something's going on here. Something doesn't make sense, and I don't know. I really think this is our generation's Roswell.
Or in the conservasphere, it could be a distraction from the derailment system that's going on right now in our country.
Yeah, it could be that is a big big discussion going on right now where everyone's saying like this is supposed to distract from what's going on in Ohio.
Ohio and across the country. I mean, they're trying to get the heat off a Booty Judge or whatever his name is.
I don't think that's his name. I think you did that on purpose. You made it funny. But yeah, so for everyone to know, over the last week, and this is kind of crazy, we've had 3 train derailments in the last week. So we had the big one in Ohio, we had one in Houston, and then we had one that just happened yesterday in Michigan.
It was an Amtrak, wasn't it?
Yep. All of them containing hazardous material cars, which should not be, ladies and gentlemen, this should not be a surprise. A lot of things are carried via railways that are hazardous materials. So, I mean, that's just a reality, right? I mean, that's what it is. But
I mean, I've noticed that a lot where whenever we get stopped, here in the crossing, actually here in Houston, this railway goes right through the heart of Houston. It goes from Stella Link all the way to River Oaks,
right,
and all the way to the Heights.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, no, I know exactly that track, 100%.
Yeah, it goes through the West Lane and all that. Well, we get stopped all the time, and you see these big black tankers carrying, and you see their chemical structure.
Oh yeah, it's like 937 and like all these flags.
NO3H Nikes, and you're like, what? And you got like a periodic table, like right in the front of it, and all the OSHA stuff is printed on this card, and it's moving, and they're moving really fast.
Oh yeah, they're scooting.
And I've never actually thought to think what happens if this thing derails right in front of me. And now I know. I'm gonna die.
Oh yeah, no, you're fucked. If it derails right in front of you, well, especially this Ohio situation, because, and just to kind of just reiterate, this Ohio situation is a fucking natural disaster. It's like on the level of Exxon Valdez type shit. People are finding thousands of dead fish. We're starting to find dead mammals, which is not good.
Cows.
Yep. And no, do you hear the latest?
What's that?
People are developing rashes.
Oh, I've seen that.
This is fucking real. This is a complete ecological disaster.
But the media's not covering it that way, man.
No, they're not covering it that way. I'm telling you that the railroad lobby, ladies and gentlemen, is fucking powerful, because this is also the railroad lobby that prevented upgrading their equipment because, of course, Trump didn't there. So there was a big law going in to try to make them to upgrade their braking system, which from what I heard, I'm not a trained fucking aficionado, but their braking system is similar to the ones that they've been using since the early 1900s, late 1800s. There's not much has changed. Well, they're supposed to upgrade them. It was going to be billions of dollars to do that. And so they successfully lobbied the Trump administration to prevent them from having to do that.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
and I'm not saying it's just Trump.
That.
I'm not saying it's just Trump. I think had it been Biden, Obama, these fuckers are very, very powerful. I mean, people don't realize what happened during the summer with the probable railroad strikes. Congress just basically said, okay, well, fuck the workers. What do you guys want? And took the power away from the workers, and then mediated what was supposed mediation of trying to meet halfway, where they basically they didn't mediate. They just said, you're going back to work or you're in trouble. And the owner's like, thank you. So this is a very powerful lobby. Very fucking powerful lobby. So if they had that type of influence in government, what do you think their influence in media is?
Yeah. Silence the whole thing. Don't talk about it. You know why they can't silence? They can't silence TikTok, though.
Nope.
They can't silence TikTok or social media.
Chinese love this shit. They're like, oh, you guys talk shit about people throwing themselves off of Foxconn all day long. We're going to talk about how y'all got trains running up into people.
We're gonna put this forefront, man. This will be the first thing that pops up when you open TikTok.
That's right. Exactly. It is. I think it's like, oh, you want to see trains crash? But what I kind of that some people say, I guess there's hundreds of train wrecks, whatever, a year, which doesn't echo correct to me, because I don't, a lot of times we make a big deal of train derailments, but there was 3 in a week, right? That's kind of weird to have so many happen within a certain time frame that quickly. Like, something was really strange about this, right? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like I start getting thoughts of, and I definitely, if everybody wants, if you want to start putting your little tinfoil hats on, this kind of sounds like sabotage, right?
Okay, so check it out, dude. It's kind of weird that you mentioned that, because what is it, like about a month ago, on my YouTube feed, I was getting videos on how to derail trains. Okay, I was getting videos on how to derail trains on my YouTube feed, and it's fucking simple, bro. It's simple. It's you can buy this contraption on fucking Amazon. It's the length of a rail. It's not very wide. It's a ramp, and you put it on the fucking rail, okay, and the train will go over it, and it'll derail all of it.
Right. It's crazy. Derail.
It's not that complicated. It's like the boot that you put on your car is more complicated than this thing that you put on the fucking rail, and you wait for a train to show up and derail it. Okay, it's not complicated at all.
No, it's not.
That's not fucking shit. Is scary.
Oh yeah, well, it's funny. They used to make when they used to like make that joke, or not that joke. There's that wives' tale, like, if you put pennies or quarters on the railroad tracks, it'll disrail. It'll how many assholes did that? When you think about it, it's like, that's really you did. Yeah. And there was one asshole right there trying to derail trains and shit.
No. What ended up happening was,
you fucking jerk. You're trying to take out trains, you domestic terrorist.
my cousins, who I grew up with, used to live literally right next to the train tracks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the train tracks, and then it was one house and their house. Okay, right. So it was a lot of fun, because we knew that what time the train was going to pass, and we'd put pennies and nails and shit like that on the rail, and the thing would show up and take it over, and we were just so lucky we didn't get shot with the nail.
Oh no, shit. Well, the cool thing is, if you actually can find the objects afterwards, they're fucked up. Like, they're crazy. No, we never found it. Oh, they'll be, most of the time, if you can find them, they're warped. Like, the pennies are stretched like 8-9 inches. It's crazy how much heat and how much power those trains, those wheels are actually under continuous pressure. Yeah. So like, but that's the crazy thing, right? But for 3 of them to go off within a week, and all the, I don't know, man. I know it's probably not a conspiracy. It's probably more has to do with the fact that the railroad companies have completely just forgot everything. You know what I'm saying? They've spent billions in buybacks and not a penny in reinvestment of their infrastructure. So it's just going to come. So it's going to end up happening, though, right? We're going to end up paying for their infrastructure upgrade somehow, because they're going to threaten, well, we just won't ship your goods, which will paralyze the economy.
Here's the thing, though. When the BP Horizon happened back during the Obama administration, BP stepped up, bro. They stepped up, and for all their faults, they stepped up. They kept fucking popping oil rigs, dude. They didn't have a choice. They kept popping oil rigs. No,
they let Cthulhu out. They put Cthulhu out, bro.
They put out a commercial saying, "Hey, it's our fault, and we did it. Submit your claims to us."
And they kept fucking up. Remember, they kept trying to fix it, and making it worse.
True, but it was on the news. There was accountability, and this happened. And so now there's railway. You don't see them on the news. They're not putting out commercials. They're not trying to do damage control with the public.
Yeah,
they're silent, bro. They're silent. They're not saying anything about this.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say this real quickly.
Where are we going? What's happening?
This is one more reason to vote Republican.
Oh,
let me tell you why.
Of course.
Let me tell you why.
Even though the Republicans are the ones that didn't approve the upgrade.
Exactly. If Trump had been in office, this shit would have been on the news 24/7. There would have been a body count. There would have been like fish count on the side of the screens. They would have been asking the president all this bullshit because they wanted to get him. There's accountability. But you put in a Democrat president with a Democrat administration in there, you don't get shit, dude. You don't get any kind of accountability. No one talks about it. They try to hush it. Fuck, now they'll arrest reporters who ask questions. Okay?
I get it.
This is what happens when you elect a total douchebag party. Okay? Had you elected somebody that the press hates, you would have had some serious accountability, real accountability.
I don't know.
You would have had the president down there fucking like saying a speech about how we're going to fix this, and he would have drank the water straight out of the river and just taken a swig at it just to prove a point. Okay?
I don't know, bro.
But you don't see this happen. Dude. You don't see this happen with the Biden administration. You don't see this because why? Because you have the media running coverage. I mean, they're covering for him.
Who for Biden? Well, okay.
Yeah, for butt plug and Biden.
No, I think that you're right. A butt plug. That's a good one. I think you're right. I know. You know what? I do have to concede that I think had this been Trump, they definitely would have aired out more like, he doesn't care about the environment. He doesn't care about anything. Just like George Bush with Katrina. These things happen, right? Whereas, when it's a Democrat president, it tends to be more like they don't really go at that angle. So, yeah, I get you. But at the same time, though, I think if someone's going to champion safety upgrades for stuff, it's more likely to be Democrats, right? I mean, Republicans, if tell me when the Republicans have ever been involved or even champion workers' rights. When does this ever happen?
What party? When did that ever happen with anybody?
Well, no. I mean, there's a lot of unions that were all Democrats. Actually, quite a few the laws, basically most of the workers' rights laws came from Democrats because of their relations with the unions. Whereas Republicans have always continued to try to rail against.
That's fine with me. I mean, that's cool, but accountability. That was back then, dude. The media has changed a whole lot now where they'll attack a certain person from a certain party versus a Democrat. Okay.
Right.
There's no accountability going on right now. Okay. This is essentially become a state level problem.
Well, I think you're right. It's beyond even state level. I don't even think it's state level. This is a corporation problem. This is a problem with corporations that basically are supposed to be policing themselves.
Well, FEMA funding was denied.
For which part?
Okay. For the people of Palestine, Ohio. There's no FEMA assistance coming. It was denied by the president.
Well, you know why? Well, it's because of the train companies are trying to. This is very okay. It's so funny that this is happening this way, but if anyone gets a chance, Netflix did or Netflix or HBO, someone did a badass fucking documentary about 3 Mile Island. Which if anyone doesn't know, it's a great
Epstein story.
No. No. that'd be another type of island. No, it's
what are you talking about then?
Well, it's basically a the worst nuclear incident to happen on U.S. soil. And the nuclear company, shit you not, the day after this happens, full well knowing that there's radiation that's been spewed all over everyone in the following area, said, oh, there's no radiation. Everything's fine. And then as it progressed later on, they find out like, oh my God, it's worse and worse. And this company still continues to deny it. This is what's happening with these corporations. And that's why I think, while I understand what you're saying, right? Elect a Republican, except a Republican, while they may get shit for it, aren't going to attack the root cause, which are, once again, these companies who are supposed to police themselves, who are supposed to, these are vital interest companies, right? These are companies that control the commerce movement of the United States of America. They're very fucking powerful. And they're not being held or accountable for anything. So right now, this ecological disaster is completely being covered up. So that's why I think when it comes to FEMA, it's because of the fact that the train company is paying people off to shut the fuck up because they know how bad this is. FEMA will, of course, get involved, but that's once it's beyond their power, right? I mean, dude, that fucking chemical burn off, did you hear about that?
Yeah, that was horrible.
And then do I hear you think fucking worse? The cars contain chemicals they weren't supposed to.
Oh,
they were lying.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
4 chemicals that were not registered were in there. So it wasn't just this vinyl chloride, whatever, not PVC, but the vinyl, whatever, the main one that they said they were burning off. No, there was 4 other chemicals they were burning off too. Kind of makes it seem like somebody was trying to get rid of evidence because, oh, we got to burn this tanker. This has what it says is in there. And it wasn't. It was something else. Because we're finding out that there's more in the area than what they're saying was in those tankers. So it's a conspiracy on every sense of the level. And you're right. Media has not said shit.
That's fucked up, right?
It is fucked up. It is fucked up. And it once again shows everybody independent media is where it's at because, guys, this is a big
guys
fucking
like
deal.
us.
Yep. People in Ohio right now
are pissed.
Are fucking pissed. And they're terrified. They're beyond pissed. And it's not even just pissed. They're terrified right now. They're seeing fish dying, mammals dying, birds dying. They're starting to develop rashes on their skin. I mean, dude, this is scary shit.
Dude, and they're being told everything's fine.
Oh yeah,
they're being gaslit.
Yep, literally. I mean, yeah. I mean, even not beyond even gaslit now. I mean, they're being gassed. So the sad thing is, and then what do they get for their trouble? A $500 coupon to go get a hotel for one night.
That's fucked up.
And guess what? They're told the next day, oh, it's fine, you can come back home. But it's clearly not. It's fucking terrifying.
I'm gonna play this here real quickly, guys. This is actually a clip from a news agency talking about how the railroad company did not show up to the town hall meeting to explain what the fuck is going on.
Oh yeah, this is crazy.
and this lady has a good point. Okay, so here it goes.
Community meeting, Norfolk Southern Railroad. No, Norfolk Southern didn't show up. They didn't feel it was safe. In the 11th hour, the company that owns the train that derailed sent a statement saying, unfortunately, after consulting with community leaders, we have become increasingly concerned about the growing physical threat to our employees.
Okay, well, if you're afraid that somebody from Palestine is going to hurt your employees, what exactly did you do to us?
Community
and that was it.
Yeah.
So she has a point. If you're afraid about violence against your employees, what the hell did you do to us that we're going to try to beat you up for?
This is scary. This is happening. This is fucking terrifying. Like, people are really in fucking danger and no one's doing anything about it, right? It's just scary.
Yeah.
And for everyone who, is AOC running into Ohio right now trying to take care of people? Is anybody? I mean, nobody is.
Nobody is. Not even
nobody.
Environmentalist wackos from Antifa aren't going in there to help.
Nope. Nobody's saying shit.
Grabbing to a fence-link fence.
Whoa.
Fence-link fence.
Crying,
looking into space, with tears in her eyes. None of that's going on.
Nope. Only thing that's happening right now is, guess what? Nothing. Nothing's happening at all. And it's just going to continue to be this way. And we're all losing any and all of our abilities to deal with what the seriousness of the situation was, which is, to be honest with you, I think we need to treat this like Fukushima, right? You know how they removed the top 6 inches of topsoil from the immediate area? That needs to be done here. And all of that needs to be just literally eradicated. Something needs to be done along that area, right?
Have you seen what happens when, so there's these streams, right, that go through their little forest or whatever.
Right.
And the water looks clear.
Right.
But as soon as you drop a rock or a stick into the bottom, you see this plume of rainbow come up into the water.
Right.
which means that the chemicals that are in the water are heavier than the water and they sink to the soil.
Right.
So the bottom feeder fish are going to die. And that's going to affect the food chain all the way up. So,
right.
Anyway, yeah, no one's going to do anything about it.
No. Hey, guess what? In the end, we're all screwed. We're all fucked. And no one's going to do anything about it. So that's why I'm telling y'all, ladies and gentlemen, and you know, and I think my esteemed colleague probably agrees. When it comes to policing themselves, corporations don't do it. This happened with vaccines. This happens with everybody else. If they you cannot trust them to do these things.
And if the only way we're going to get action from anybody is to have a president that the media equally hates, okay, that's the only way you're going to get some sort of response.
I love this mentality. It's like,
it is
fight evil with evil,
dude. I'm telling you, man. This is okay. Biden isn't doing shit, and the Republicans didn't do shit. But if you get a president in there that the media hates, they're going to focus on this shit like it's Fukushima 2.0 in America. You would have had fucking just media in there attacking Trump day and night. It was his fault. He rejected the brakes,
bro. We like
he bought into the lobby, you know, all this stuff, and shit would have started coming out so much quicker,
bro. Everyone likes Trump. Okay, Trump, everyone loves him
except the media.
No, everyone just loves him. He's the best president ever.
No, everybody hates Trump.
Sorry, excuse me as I throw up. Everyone, dude.
I'm
Trump
telling you, dude.
Loved.
Look, it doesn't have to be Trump. It can be any Republican president. They would have gotten a lot of shit for this. A ton of it. I don't think
so, bro. I don't think so. But no, I know what you're saying. I agree. Had this been like DeSantis, some other Republican, they would have did something. But now no one's really talking about the fact that we have a severe ecological crisis occurring, and there's nothing to do. Right? There's no one's going to do anything about it. No one's going to do anything about it. But I know two senators that probably can't do much about it, unfortunately. And moving on to that, that will be John Fetterman and Dianne Feinstein. For those on the know, both of these senators and one severely more, well, they're both pretty bad. But in regards to Dianne Feinstein, she announced officially that she will not be rerunning for Senate, which was pretty funny. Because when someone asked her about it after the statements later on, she said, well, we haven't released that yet. And quickly her aide grabbed her and said, hey, it's poo-poo pee-pee time. It's time. We did already announce this. The lady is so... I mean, I know people make jokes about Biden.
She's far gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I know people say shit about Biden, right? But this is for real. Like, she is really cognizantly, whatever. She's not in the same room. She's 84 years old and completely gone. Like there's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, dude, it's fucking bad. So we're talking about that. And then we have John Fetterman, who unfortunately suffered a stroke during his campaign against Mehmet Oz, which somebody still won, which says a lot about Dr. Oz. But
or Pennsylvania.
Well, I think more about Oz. I think you give people a snake oil salesman versus a 9-to-5er who has a physical impediment. They're gonna go with the 9-to-5er with the physical impediment. I mean,
is that right?
Yeah, dude.
Is that what you're gonna go with? I mean,
nobody wants a snake oil salesman, bro. That's Dr. Oz. I mean, what was he saying? He was saying like he had like wonder drugs to burn fat and just wild shit when he was on that TV show, man. He said wild
sensationalism, you know?
He said such inaccurate medical things. Like, I'm surprised he even has a fucking license. But anyways, moving on to that point, Nikki Haley, the governor of some shitty place. No,
South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. We love you, South Carolina. I'm just fucking with you. She actually made a point in her new speech because she's running for governor. She is not for governor. She's running for president. She's announced. So she'll be taking on Mr. Big Hands himself, Trump. she said, we need to have a minimal competency test for anyone over the age of 75 years old in the United States government. That's one of her running things. Like, she literally is running on partially that, which is kind of a big deal because she's kind of right. You know, I mean, we've seen
it now. Huh? We've seen what can happen now when you let 75 octogenarians run for office. And but I mean, is it okay? I don't know what it is about Democrats and electing people with mental disabilities, though. I just don't get it,
guys. I don't get it with yours, dude. There's plenty of fucking Reagan. Reagan was shitting himself at the end of his presidency.
Yeah, but
and he literally almost nuked Russia, dude.
I mean, that should have happened anyway.
No,
right? I mean, look what we're doing now.
He almost nuked a country. He was so far gone mentally. He had fucking Parkinson's, right? Come on, dude.
And Alzheimer's.
And every other mental problem. So you're right. I mean, don't get me wrong, but this is a problem that's being suffered across every party, right? This is a serious fucking issue. I mean, what the fuck are we gonna do? What are we gonna do as a people when we keep fucking electing octarians? I mean,
they're the only people with money.
Well, I don't think so. They said that a lot of it is that boomer fucking thing going on. They still want to have power, and it's just like, guys, you guys gotta fucking stop, right? You guys, it's over. Like, you had your time, right? So I think it's a big deal. I think it's something that, and Nikki Haley did bring it up. Not that I think she even has she doesn't have a fucking even minuscule chance, right?
Really? Not even a minuscule?
Not even a minuscule chance. I think there's a greater chance that Tinkerbell comes down from Never Neverland, takes a shit on the president's desk, and then, magically turns that piece of shit into an ogre who then becomes Shrek. Like, it's not going to happen. Nikki Haley will not be president of the United States ever.
Okay.
I mean, okay. You know what? I'll take away ever, but definitely not in 24.
Well, look, here's what happens. A lot of these people who don't have a chance of winning the presidency will do it for cabinet positions. That's why she will do it.
I don't know, because, well, the problem is that she's going to have to bite the hand that's going to feed her, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
No, maybe. How is she going to run? She's in her speech specifically. She is talking about getting rid of the old guard. I mean, who the fuck else is the old guard, right?
Trump?
Yeah, she says it's time for a new face, a new time, everything.
Okay, so I think Fox News tried to get her in a gotcha question on that. Yep. They were like, "Do you think Donald Trump would pass a cognitive test based on your rules?" And she said she didn't fire back at her. She was just like, "Well, he passed it back then, so I think he'll pass it this time." That's what she said. So, she kept it friendly. She didn't punch him. So anyway.
Well, I'm not saying that, right, but that's also another problem, right? That's someone I was listening to, just to give props for does to Breaking Points, and they talked about that. They did talk about that. Breaking Point did talk about the fact that, no one's really, it's like fucking, Trump is Beetlejuice. So no one's saying his name, but they're all talking about him. But no one's straight up saying their fucking name, right?
Trump.
He shows up like, I'm the fucking greatest, fucking guy. But yeah, so I think in the end, we are suffering. We do have a lot of people who want to run that aren't saying what they need to say. And I think that's going to be an issue because someone's going to have to eventually engage him. So we'll see. But you have him, you have her, you have Bolton, you have Pence. You got a lot of people that want to jump in.
I don't know if Pence is going to win, man.
I hope not.
I don't know.
Fuck. I'd almost rather have Trump. That's why Trump picked Pence. That's why Trump picked Pence. You know what I'm saying? Because he fucking knew it. He's like, oh, fuck that. No one wants me to die. You know what I'm saying? That's like just like fucking Biden did with Kamala, Had Biden, and he was smart, had he picked a good vice president like Bernie, someone along that lines, he
Joe
knew it would have
Manchin.
been over. Yeah, he would have been over. Think about it. Everyone would already tell him, "You get the fuck out of here, man." But
nobody
he
wants
picked
Kamala, dude.
He picked the worst possible human being he could pick, and that was Kamala Harris. And guess what? She's fucking.
I mean, it worked out, right?
He's fine. He's not gonna have a problem. I guarantee you. Well, because everyone's talking about it now. He's not going anywhere. He's got it. He's gonna be running again. So it's an interesting situation. He will. I think he will.
I hope he does. I hope Kamala runs again. I hope. Yeah, I hope Einstein runs too. I mean,
oh gosh, she can't.
Win,
well, I'll be honest with you. Feinstein has a better chance of beating Trump than Nikki Haley does. So, I mean,
wow.
Yeah, Nikki Haley's. I don't know. I really don't understand. I don't understand why she's even in this, right? Because I don't think she has any national pull. But we'll see. I mean, who knows? But going back to the beginning of all this, we do have two senators who are pretty compromised. Now, John Fetterman, of course, said that he checked himself into the VA over depression, which, and I'm going to respect that. I think that's smarter than what someone like Feinstein or a lot of the other people would do. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't realize that depression is a common factor that occurs after someone has a stroke. It's very common. It's very, very common. So, the fact that he did it, I think it's a big deal. I think it's good. I think it's good for people to see that too, because I think after this pandemic, and I'm not trying to go and say that he should be a senator right now either. I'm not trying to say that. But I think after the 2.5, 3 year pandemic, there's a lot of really depressed people out there. And I think it's important for people to be worried about that, right? So that's my thought about it. I think a lot of us are, we got to look at that. We got to really step back and look at the mental health of our whole country. And the fact that he decided to do the best thing for his health, I think that's important. And I kind of applaud the guy for it.
But he didn't. I mean, he's still, the people of Pennsylvania have one representative in Congress now, or in the Senate right now.
Right.
All right. What the fuck were they thinking? Seriously.
Well,
there was a medical paper trail that strictly said this guy is disabled. He had a stroke. What are you guys doing?
He's not the only member of Congress who's had a stroke.
Yeah, but okay, check this out. It's not like it was innuendo. Okay, people laugh at Biden, haha, he's demented, or haha, Trump, how he's demented. But there was a medical paper trail that told that this guy Fetterman is disabled by every legal standard. There was no innuendo here.
Look, bro. Look.
I'm just saying, like, what the fuck were y'all thinking in Pennsylvania?
Look, bro. I don't think so. I think right. Was there a long medical trail? You're right. Yes. There was definitely issues, but the problem to me, in my opinion, is the fact that, we keep electing. We were given these shitty options, so you're gonna have shitty candidates, right? We have a two-party system that's controlling candidates, and that's part of the whole problem. So as long as we continue to support this two-party system, we're going to continue to have these problems. You know what I'm saying? We're going to continue to get these shitty caliber candidates that are basically their puppets, except for Trump. I'd have to give it to Trump to say initially he wasn't, but once they let him in the game, it was over. Honestly, once he was in the game,
yeah, I can see that.
Once he was in the game, all of a sudden he was like, "Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am." But before, gangster as fuck, right? But
yeah,
afterwards,
look at his If you look at his first primary performance, he was gangster. He took it to everybody, man. And I think that's what made people like him. But then you fast forward to his campaign with Biden, he kind of lost his thunder, It wasn't
right. What do you mean?
It wasn't 2016 Trump. 2016 Trump against the Republican primary candidates and Hillary was gangster.
Fucking roasted those motherfuckers.
He roasted everybody. But 2020 Trump against Biden, I don't know. Something happened.
Something happened. Think about a 2023, 2024 Trump versus Biden. I think, to be quite honest with you, this is going to be like those boxing matches where no one really throws a punch. I think it's going to be just two guys fainting left or right the whole fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Just dancing around each other.
Like Pac-Man and what's his name?
What? The YouTuber?
No. It was Manny Pacquiao and
Manny
Pacquiao. A lot of hype. Yeah, it was a lot of hype against this guy.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather.
And he just wore him down. He just wore him down. He's just like, no, I don't have to do nothing. You're gonna keep throwing stupid shit, and I'm gonna keep moving around.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yep,
that's it. That's all that happened the whole fucking fight.
Yep. And I'll be honest with you, that's what I think is going to happen with this one. I think we're just going to see a rehash of we're going to see exact same rehash of 2020. It's going to be a narrow win one way or the other, and everyone's going to claim the other one cheated. It's going to be exact same thing as last time. It's going to be exact same thing as last time.
If anyone in the Trump camp is listening to Skip the Noise, I want to see 2016 Trump back.
It's not going to happen, dude. They changed his amphetamine diet, so. He apparently the brand's no longer covered, so they're just giving him the generic pills. But anyways, moving on from the Octarians that are going to be screwing up everything, I think we're going to talk about apparently a lot of Nazis made it into South America. Yeah, so
they did.
I'm trying to get her name, of course. Hispanic Congresswoman.
Okay, hold on.
I can't find her name.
Let's see how the story starts first. This story started. Ben finds her name. This story started because she claimed that she was Jewish.
Oh, this is Ana Paulina.
Ana Paulina, Luna.
Florida representative, and she is with the GOP.
Yes,
which is kind of like the Nazis.
Well, maybe, but
well, I mean, fuck. You gotta just sometimes go with it. You gotta just go with what you gotta be. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They're not like the Nazis. They're not Democrats, but. Yeah, so she started off by saying, she was Jewish. I think she claimed that her grandparents were in Auschwitz or something like that.
Yes, she went almost full George Santos.
That was a half truth. Her grandparents were in Auschwitz. All right. I mean, she didn't lie.
Oh my god,
but
that's horrible.
They were on the wrong side of the team. Okay, so because she claimed she was Jewish, and apparently her grandfather was a Nazi captain or some sort of Nazi officer in Germany at the time. So not entirely wrong. Her grandparents were in Auschwitz. They just, they weren't the prisoners. They were the other side. Ben, what do you know about this?
Well, yes. Miss Ana Paulina. Oh boy.
Oh, what is it? I want to say one thing.
Well, go for it.
What's this trend about Hispanics trying to be Jewish?
Well,
I don't get it.
It's actually, well, you got to remember. So
why be Jewish? What's the appeal? I don't get it.
Well, it's not that. No, there's a lot of Jewish Latinos. It's true. There's a lot because remember Spain.
We're talking about like Jewish, like they're kind of Jewish.
No. There's a member from Spain. There was during the what's it called, the Inquisition. A lot of Spanish Jews had to uproot and leave during that point time frame, and so the persecution is real. There's been Jewish people throughout everywhere, including Latin America, but there was way more of an influx of fusion of Nazis. So, yeah, like you said, this GOP representative, Miss Ana Paulina Luna, yeah, I think her grandfather was actually a Nazi, like a honest to God Nazi. He was a fighter pilot,
like an officer, yeah,
a fighter pilot officer. So yeah, it's kind of funny because I think these people are running in Florida. Florida is an interesting, well, not not George Santos because he's in New York, but it's kind of like Florida in the sense that these districts that they're angling for are typically very Jewish districts, right? There's Latins in there, but there's a lot of Jewish people, and people don't realize there's a lot of Jewish people in Florida and in New York. It's kind of the makeup of that
from New York.
Or vice versa, because there's things called snowbirds. A lot of people don't realize, like older people during the winter will come to these southern states to not have to deal with the harshness of the snow, and then go back home during the fall and summer. But needless to say, I think that's just what I think lying for politicians has just gone to that level now, right? I mean, you see Beto, acting,
oh fuck, man.
Yeah, he's running with being I'm from El Paso and I'm this and that, and trying to assume basically, brown face his way into office. You see this a lot. This isn't new. I mean, like I said, once again, we were talking about Santos. I mean, he literally said he was Jewish and he's this and that, and he's completely lying. It's just an easy way to manipulate a populace into thinking that you're with them, because there is a strong sense of community within the Jewish community. So if they see someone who says that they're Jewish, I think there's a very strong sense of community with that. And so I think that buys them points with those people, and they know it. So they purposely are utilizing it. It's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, but you know what? Don't you think that somebody might have told her that, hey, Grandpa was a Nazi pilot. You probably shouldn't say you're Jewish. Okay, just shut the fuck up about that.
Right? Or you just shut the fuck up. I mean,
shut up about being anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You're Luna. Okay, that's it.
Well, no, she's Luna. Luna Volkswagen.
Luna Hafernugen.
Exactly. Ich das nicht Berliner. Luna. But
watch her Jenna. What's her like 99 red balloons in German?
I know. No.
What are you listening to? Like,
I mean, let's be honest, right? She's a fucking liar. She's trying to. She was just trying to win over another populace, and whatever it took. And I think that's true. I think that a lot of these people do that. But I mean. But if you're Latin American and you're very light skinned, there's definitely a European influence, and she's definitely a Nazi. So, I mean, when you look at this situation, it's pretty funny. It's funny, but it's at the same time, it shows you how desperate people are to find community, how desperate people are to just win, and it shows you what these people are willing to do.
Or say,
to win.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And that's, once again, guys, while yes, these are really blatant, every politician's doing the same thing about something else, right? You have conservative Republican Christians going, I hate gay men, and then they find them doing meth, getting massages. You have Democrats saying they hate capitalism and they want to help people, but they're worth $700 million. But before they were in Congress, they were worth $9 million. I mean, the hypocrisy of government and the individuals involved, it is kind of right. It is. I mean, everyone's doing it, but it's funny that when they lie about being, Jewish or something along the lines of that, everyone wants to call that out. But when they lie about all these other things, you don't really hear it as much. So it's just a very precarious situation. And it's just very sad that someone would do that, because there is some serious roots to the Jewish community, and these, the people were oppressed. And so it makes them feel like they have someone that's also understands where they come from. So it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah. Wouldn't you think you'd pick another ethnic group? Like, I'm Cuban, my struggle, that kind of thing. I don't know. Why Jewish? I don't understand. Is it the money?
I'm telling you, I really believe
the contributions.
Yes, it's the contributions. It's an instant community, even more so than when you say when you're Latin, or I even think more so than when you're Black. I think it's an instant community that is very punched into the political spectrum because, after being persecuted, you're going to kind of be more worried about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you know what, though? Okay, check it out. Why lie about being Jewish when your grandfather, we're not even talking about great-grandfather, your grandfather, you're one generation away from this man. He was a Nazi pilot. You don't think that the medals, you don't think she saw the medals in her grandma's basement or whatever? You don't think she saw like an old picture of her grandfather?
She probably, dude, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
allegedly.
Why say shit like that, dude? Why go down that way? I mean,
dude, it's bad. I'm trying to find some more grandfather history.
That's like Elton John getting married to Olivia Newton-John, saying he's straight, but he's gay. I mean,
no, it's like, what's that guy under the Calabra? What's his name? He was the piano guy, Liberace. Like, he tried to say he was straight for years.
No, dude, not with that costume.
Yeah, no, he was not. And the funny thing is, women were in love with him. Like, they all thought he was straight.
Boy.
Oh, bro. But yeah, I mean, let's see what else he says. Once about that, she wonders it. Oh gosh, this lady said a lot of stupid shit. Like, she is not very smart. Oh my God, she was okay. Oh boy,
you know what?
It gets better. Hold on, the Congresswoman. Born with the last name Meyerhofer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Also began to embrace her Hispanic heritage more publicly in recent years. When she registered to vote in Florida in 2015, she identified as white, not of Hispanic origin.
Oh, no.
Wait. She updated her ethnicity to Hispanic when she re-registered to vote in Washington State in 2019. She goes, I would like to represent my Hispanic heritage and have the same last name as my mother. She wrote in the petition she filed in 2019 to change her last name to Luna.
Wow.
Monica Luna told the Post that the congressman had never identified as being Hispanic as far as she knew, and that Luna's father spoke Spanish around her when she was a child. That was it.
But her last name was Meyerhofer.
Yeah, no, it was Meyerhofer. Dude, it's like, seriously, I will show you the fucking spelling.
Did it have like two little periods on top of the U or something like that?
No, it had two little lightning bolts. So it's like, yeah.
It was spelled out in like old English letters.
Exactly. It was two lightning bolts and somehow the Hoffer has like an X in it. I don't know why. But once again, it just shows you like the way that they're tapping the votes. But I think this is all politicians. They're all liars, right? She just happened to lie worse
about the wrong thing.
Yeah, exactly. So good going, Miss Ana Paulina Luna, who is actually Ana Paulina Mohammed Mahar.
You think she's crazy? Like on the crazy hot scale? I think she's pretty crazy.
She's pretty
hot too. Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she is. But
I still smash, even if she was Jewish. I'd still smash her.
Oh boy, I know what's getting cut out. Yeah.
I kid. It's all jokes. It's all jokes.
She's pretty bad.
I'd smash anybody. Don't worry about it.
She's an attractive woman, but yeah, she's crazy as shit, and she's a best shit liar. So, but yeah, she's probably on that scale. As the line goes up, she's fucking nuts. But moving on to a rather sad note, we're gonna have to say, I guess, in a way, say goodbye to a male role model, right? That took on the terrorists and Nagamachi Towers. It
was the best Christmas movie ever.
Very best Christmas movie ever. Not only did that, but he played football with what's his name, Damon Wayans in Last Boy Scouts. He was fucking awesome with Christopher Walken in that old school gangster movie. I forgot the name of it, but it was awesome. Every time he shot a gun, like, it would make people fly. It was so fucking good. Let's not forget the I would say the Renaissance and never stop ending hit of Hudson Hawk. Great movie. Bruce Willis. unfortunately has announced that he has dementia.
Hmm.
Sad
Very
for a
sad.
man that he had the run of gamut of any woman he wanted in the late
He picked Demi
80s,
Moore.
early 90s, and was with Demi
Anyway.
Moore when she was Demi Moore. Poor guy, there's not much you can say. The only thing I guess you can kind of say is at least he has substantial resources. So while that won't necessarily stop the dementia, it will, at least he'll have proper treatment, people to care for him. But he does have dementia, folks. So it's kind of it's a sad thing, and it's early onset, being in his 60s. Who knows how long he's had it, because I think they first said that he had other issues.
Yeah, he had a speech issue, and I think who mentioned? I think The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, was saying that he would lose his patience with him at the movie set, not knowing that he had this condition, because
Right.
he would never remember his lines.
Right.
Now he says he feels bad about it because he would get frustrated with Willis. I would feel bad about it too if I didn't know and I give the poor man a hard time.
Yeah, well, of course, and I think The Rock's a saint, so I don't think he's gonna mess with anybody unless he has to. But it's pretty sad. It's pretty crazy. So for a lot of people that don't realize, there is of course there onset dementia is just, you're gonna forget everything. You're gonna forget everything. Your body will deteriorate, and it's not a great ending. But our heart goes out to Bruce Willis, who, to me, honestly, I love Bruce Willis, right? I can't. He was a badass. He was a flippant character that was comedic, but he could also be fucking gangster, right? I mean, Die Hard.
Yeah.
The Last Boy Scout, to me, was ridiculous how badass he was. I don't know if anyone remembers that movie. That's where he basically shoves someone's nose bone into their brain and kills them. Just fantastic.
For me, the best place I've ever seen him act was actually Pulp Fiction.
Great. Oh, yeah.
He lost his temper because his girlfriend left to watch it back in the apartment.
Yep.
That was intense.
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense, exactly.
Fuck. I mean, that was a fucking. I mean, hold on. Let's just. Oh my god. Almost. Just to pay tribute to a Renaissance actor, just a fucking badass man, right? I mean, he was just fantastic. It was just so awesome. I mean, I'm trying to see like all the other movies he did. Oh, here goes IMDb. So,
Look Who's Talking.
He did do Look Who's Talking, which, you know what? I'll give it to him. I didn't think it was that bad. Let's see. He was in everything from he made some rough ones the last couple of years, but it is what it is. He did that remake. My favorite personal movie. I cannot believe I didn't say this was The Fifth Element.
I never saw that movie.
Oh my god, dude. You have to see The Fifth Element. If you're out there, ladies and gentlemen, and you want a wonderful movie about that, actually is the epitome of sci-fi, Fifth Element. Fifth Element, without a fucking doubt, great fucking movie. Great movie. I love it. It's good. You haven't seen that shit?
No, dude, I haven't. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh god, I forgot. Remember Sin City? Oh, that was such a good fucking movie. He did Sin City. He did Ocean's 12. Well, was he in Ocean's 12? Huh?
What? Really?
Yeah, Ocean's 12. Let's see. He was in Heart's War, which I thought was good. Let me see. He made a lot of fucking. Oh, The Whole Nine Yards. Fucking good movie, dude. That was fucking.
Oh, that was a good movie. Yeah.
Let's see. Fifth Element, which I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. He did Armageddon.
Oh yeah,
but good.
Liv Tyler was really hot in that movie.
Oh boy,
and that's why I still watch it again.
12 Monkeys. Remember that?
Yeah. That
was a cool sci-fi. Of course, Pulp Fiction. Let me see. Loaded Weapon. He did that movie. Last Boy Scout.
Die Hard with a Vengeance was good.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. Hudson Hawk. Yeah. Bonfire of the Vanties. Fuck. If somebody wants to watch something that's fucking, not not exactly tough, but Moonlighting the series, which was good. I do remember that. Blind fucking Date. Remember that?
Blind Date, yeah.
Dude,
that was a funny ass movie, man.
That was so fucking good, bro.
Dude, I don't know why I watched that movie when I was a kid.
Yes, it was so good. Oh my god.
My parents let me watch some weird shit when I was a kid, man. I can't believe it.
They just let me do it. I know. My parents let me do
Okay,
whatever.
check it out. The most fucked up thing they ever let me do was I was a kid. They plopped me in front of the TV to watch a superhero movie called RoboCop.
Greatest fucking movie ever. Greatest fucking movie ever.
That's what they thought. It was a superhero movie about a robot cop. They didn't think that, it was about Murphy getting murdered in a warehouse.
Dude, they fucking killed him bad. Like,
and I was traumatized, man.
Everybody was. Yeah, dude. That one, that's a questionable move.
I was fucking like 6 years old. So anyway.
Let's see. Oh, dude, we're missing Tears of the Sun. Badass fucking movie.
Never seen it.
Oh, it was so good. I'm trying to see if there's what else we got. Yeah, I mean, he kicked ass. Surrogates was good. That was a good movie. Cop Out. Things started going south after about 2008. But he was in Expendables. He did The Good Day to Die. Sin City 2, which no one saw. He's had some rough runs, right? He's had some rough runs. But nonetheless, what hell of a fucking actor. And it's so sad to see that happen to anybody. So if you're out there, say some prayers. Who knows? He found his way through the through the air ducts of the Nagatomi Tower. He found himself out of there despite all odds with no shoes. He was able to take out Lars, and he did.
And then Lars's brother
he killed Lars's brother because he was pissed. He killed his brother in the beginning. He pulled off some stuff, so hopefully he can do this too. So I'm a big Bruce Willis fan. I don't care what anybody says. The dude was fucking awesome. I love watching him as a kid. Awesome fucking guy. So it's a bummer, but but also remember, ladies and gentlemen, that there are a lot of people affected by dementia. So it's a disease that unfortunately doesn't care who you are, how much money you make, or how many movies, or how many probably just hot women that dude ran through. He must have. I mean, he must have went through them all. Like, if you name it, top 80s, 90s chick, he had been with them.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like Brinkley, and probably all of them. There's probably not one he wasn't with. And then he ended up with, would probably be called the diabolically hottest one of them all, was Demi Moore at that time. Right? Of the late 90s. I mean, who else? Yeah. Until, of course, Selma Hayek hit the scene and just destroyed everyone's concept of what hot is, because that chick is hot. But moving on, I think we're gonna start kind of trying to wrapping this up. It's been a good show. Any parting thoughts tonight, Mr.
No, dude. Just I guess hopefully we see you next week. That's about it.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see. Well, actually, exactly. Hopefully with the balloons don't turn into aliens and they start firing at us too. And also,
I mean, if they did, the acid rain was gonna probably bring him down anyway. So
that's what it was, dude. That's where it ties in. Trains, acid rain, killing the aliens. This is
planes. What is it? Planes, trains,
and automobiles.
Automobiles and now UFOs.
Damn. We're gonna learn how to do all this cool shit. So, with that being said, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe. Be careful. Keep it real. Represent.
See ya.